going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It's 9 o'clock. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Call the meeting, Fiscal Court, December 20th. First thing on the agenda was the minutes. Anybody have any concerns or questions?
None noted.
I'll make a motion.
Eric makes a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Keith seconds. All any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Next is the bills and the transfers. Rhonda's here if you got any questions.
I have a question. One question to Buck. I noticed our canteen fund.
What?
Canteen fund was a little bit up. We had three. I know, but we had three. Why is it just up because of?
Depends on how much we sell.
Depends on what we sell. Like I say, what we sell, if we take the canteen money and reimburse fiscal court with it.
Yeah.
Fiscal court's not having no money at all.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was more to me this time than
I mean, we're selling more. I mean, we're buying more stuff.
15 grand.
Yeah.
15 grand.
Yeah. But like I say, fiscal court gets it back. It's not out of fiscal court.
I know. I just thought it was high. I think that's the only one I had.
Vernon makes a motion to approve the bills and transfers.
Second.
Gary seconds. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. At this time, I'd like Brian Adams to stand up, please. Brian, whereas Deputy Sheriff Brian Adams responded to a domestic incident, and whereas a suspect opened fire and Deputy Adams was shot in the arm, and whereas Deputy Adams put his own life on the line and showed great courage, therefore I, Nicky Rapier, Nelson County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim today, December 20th, 2022, is Brian Adams Day in Nelson County, and I encourage the people of Nelson County to recognize Brian Adams for his bravery and dedication. Signed this 20th day of December. Congratulations, Brian. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
See me before you leave so I can give you this, please. Thank you. I know. That's all right. Rudy's not getting it right now. All right. County Attorney's Office expenses.
Yes, fellows, bottom line up front, county attorney will be asking more money from fiscal court. The reasons are several. Historically, the county attorney's had a private law practice. I had a private practice. My predecessor had a private practice. Mr. McKay's made the decision not to have a private practice, which I think is a good decision. But that means that all the expenses that were otherwise being shared between county attorney and the private law practice are now going to fall on the county attorney's office itself. Couple that with, there's also a continuing decrease in the funding. We only have so much funding that's available to us. We can do cold checks, which are down to next to nothing, $100 a month, something like that. The collection on delinquent tax bills has stayed pretty consistent, but the traffic safety course, I mean, when our first full year, it was generating about $7,800 a month. This fiscal year, it's down to like $1,900 a month. So there's just no way for the county attorney to make up that income anywhere else. Also, another kind of perfect storm situation, the county attorney also wears the child support collection hat. That is a reimbursement program, so you've got to incur the expense and then apply to Frankfurt to get that expense money back. So you kind of have to front that expense. Many times, including just this month, for instance, we didn't get November's money until about December 15th, after the 15th. And so many times the county attorney's office has to float the child support money. It's perfectly legal. Auditors look at it, they don't have a problem with it. But you've got to put that money out there and then you get it back. That'll be another problem he's going to face, is that he won't have enough float to be able to keep the child support office running smoothly. So you're currently reimbursing the county attorney's office what he would ask for, we would ask for. He's going to need about another, best guess at this point, about another $4,000 a month that we would ask to be approved on the standing orders so that Rhonda can just reimburse it as it comes due each month. And then hopefully by June, he'll have a much better feel on where the expenses are and maybe able to lower that amount. But that's where we are today. Any questions? A lot of blank stares.
Instead of the county attorney give the advance, could fiscal court give the advance instead of the county attorney's office?
Could they? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to depend, and it has to happen quickly. Sometimes the advance will exceed, most of the time the advance will exceed the judge executive's authority. Like we've had to float up to $15,000 before. So, you know, I don't know if you want to be bothered with a special session to be able to float that money, but, you know, and you're always waiting with bated breath. You submit it, and you're like, well, we're going to get our reimbursement, we're going to get our reimbursement, when's it going to hit? And there's just no rhyme or reason as to when it hits. But, I mean, that could be done.
So what all is this $4,000 a month include?
You name it. It's going to be salaries, any expense in an office is going to have salaries, utilities, rent, paper, subscriptions, law books, postage, yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Where would that money come from in this budget? Is this something that we're taking that would affect this fiscal year's budget?
It'll be 6 months of it.
Yeah, it'd be 6 months of it, right, yeah. It is unplanned.
Matthew, does the county attorney have a budget, a revised budget? So,
You know, historically, we certainly could put that together if you want. I've got a spreadsheet I could get together for you very quickly.
that would probably be helpful.
Sure.
Is there any immediate need for it to be this meeting?
No, we don't need it this meeting. I'm just saying, you know, going forward, just trying to peer around as many corners as we can peer around is what we're doing.
Well, I think the entire new fiscal courts here, hearing your arguments and stuff, you can put together a budget. I think that probably be an expense that the next fiscal court should make the decision, since they're so different.
Okay. But it would have to, yeah, you know, you guys will have to act quickly when it goes, 'cause January will be here, and then
Yeah.
it would almost have to be approved at the first meeting, because that child support float could happen quick.
Well, I mean, the next fiscal court's gonna have its challenges with, you know, also with the corner coming in, and there's gonna be some, you know, some expenses there. It's gonna have to be something that you guys really need to be the ones who pull the trigger on.
And that's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
Yeah, you're saying to get it more itemized out to where,
Look at the budget and see what we're talking about. You know, you can say your best guess 4,000. We look at some of the expenses to see. You know, that's a pretty significant increase that we did not plan for. So,
Absolutely, sure. And the 4,000 is kind of what would give him the cushion. You know, there's probably less that he'd be able to get by with, but, you know, the big unknown in the room is that continuing child support obligation that hits. And you're just like, where do you come up with the money? I mean, actually, I've had to loan it money out of my own pocket before. You get it back, you know, real quick, but it's just, if you don't have it, then the child support people don't get paid. That's not a good spot to be in. Your employees don't get paid.
Is it the will of the court that we don't take any action today and they get more information and it becomes before the next court? Okay. Thank you,
All right,
Matthew.
fair enough. Yep.
thank you, man.
All right,
Sure.
thank you, Matthew.
next on is the county clerk's 2022 budget amendment. She gave this out to, y'all should all have it, and I think it's this is different, this is good news, we're getting more money, correct?
Correct.
So, anybody have any concerns on this?
I don't think anybody have any concerns over getting more money.
I would hope not, but I had to ask the question.
The motion,
Please.
motion passed.
Motion by Gary to pass, second by Bernard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved.
I've got a question though. How come on the one, Jeanette, you had that price, and then on the amended one, you had that price?
I've got my bookkeeper here.
The-
What exactly are you looking
The
at?
first one was the first budget, and it's amended budget, the second one.
Just collecting more taxes. than
Yeah,
budget.
from the 2022 to that.
Yeah.
Because we collected more?
Well, you got
There's more
this,
motor vehicle?
you got that much on that one, you got that much on that. It's a difference.
Okay, you're looking at the 2023 budget.
Oh,
That's not in.
coming up.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
for the next meeting.
Okay, I see it now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
You all right?
Sorry about that.
We had the 2022 budget amendment, but I believe the sheriff met with his auditor yesterday, and they said you did not have to have this approved because you're under budget.
That's correct.
So just want that entered into the record. We had it on the agenda, but since he's under budget, we do not have to formally approve it.
And I thought that I had to do an amendment because I was over on salaries because of the 7% increase. That was not a budgeted money that I had, and so it went over, but I'm still under my whole line item budget as a whole. And the officer said I do not have to amend my budget as long as I'm over that line item.
Yeah, so we won't have to take action, but would you make sure the minutes reflect that, please? All right, next, there is a vacancy on the Nelson County Extension Board, District Board, and the existing board is nominated Jeremy Jury to take this spot. I gave you all that about 3 weeks ago. We're lucky if we get volunteers to serve on these boards, and so I would be happy to entertain a motion that we appoint him, please.
I'll make that motion.
Eric makes the motion, second by Gary. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. We have been working on the drama lease with the state since I first got here, and I'm looking back at the files. It looks like Judge Watts has been working on this for 2 or 3 years. We are trying to match this lease up with the lease we currently have with the state. So the state leases the Stephen Foster Amphitheater to Nelson County Fiscal Court for $1 a year. And we just spent about almost $2.2 million to get that fixed. That loan is down to $40,000. So, and we still have about $80,000 in pledges. And I was advised by Mr. Height and Mr. Hubbard that I couldn't do anything on this loan because I have had relations with both Salt River and Fiscal Court. They're ready to make another payment after the first of the year. They anticipate having this loan paid off. So all this lease does, it is a lease approved by Frankfurt, finally, that basically it modeled after the exact same lease that Fiscal Court has with the drama for $1. So it's just to go ahead and get this all done because of all the improvements made. And I have discussed this with the judge-elect, and we talked about it. I think he talked with Johnny Warren a little bit about it today. We lit up Bardstown and stuff like that. So at this time, unless somebody has any concerns, this is one of the last projects I'd hope to get done to succeed Judge Watts because he had been working on it for 2 or 3 years. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve this lease. Motion by Bernard, seconded by Keith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Chris, you're on.
We repaired shoulders where erosion was occurring last week channel 9 on Parktown Road, Simpson Creek Road, and Lee Terrace. We've started shouldering where roads have recently been paved. That's on Hall Simpson Road, Fogel Road, Potter Shop Road, Woodlawn Road, and today they're on Thomas Lane. We've installed a couple driveway culverts. One was on Caney Fork Road, and one was on Cedar Grove Road. We're still doing some tree trimming. We've got Chester Hahn done. We've cut some back on Wheeler Wright Road and Cedar Grove Road. We ran our snow routes for the 3rd time, and Thursday we'll get all trucks suited up, ready for the weekend.
And according to Brad and you feel pretty comfortable. We've got a lot of new employees, but they've gone smoother and smoother.
Yeah,
so you felt really good with the last practice
they've
run.
gotten better. Like I said, just every time they've getting a little more familiar with the routes. Some of the guys not even really familiar with our area, you know, and that's.
Well, especially if you grew up in one area,
Right.
and moved in the other.
Yeah, we got one from Marion County, we got one from Lawrenceburg, so they getting better. I think we'll be fine.
David Heels, he told me to tell you all she did an excellent job of road bids.
Good deal.
We'll be ready.
All right, the next item we have is a request that we relocate and straighten out the Coon Holler Road curve. You all have received information on this. This is a cost estimated with the county doing the work of $24,774. Mr. Metcalf is agreeing to use some of the majority of the remaining of his money to do half of it and is asking fiscal court to go ahead and approve the other half to get this. This is over there by the St. Vincent de Paul Cemetery. And if you've seen the pictures, but Brad and I rode over there. It does throw rock into it. So now the curve will be a little bit less severe, and there'll be some green space and stuff. So that if you're over there visiting your parents' grave or something like that, you don't have to worry about rock coming up and hitting you because somebody's throwing it up in the. Is that about accurate?
Yeah, but in the last couple of years, there've been several. They've ran through the fence
Accidents.
and they've knocked down several
Tombstones.
and it's a project that
And
the
this is
landowners have agreed to give us the property that we need to take advantage of. We're going to do some swapping
Right.
of some property.
We've got all that done, ready.
But Matthew's told me that's all. He's got it all legal.
Swapping is, they take it.
Yeah, where they gave us this property, we're going to turn this back over to no, it's Archdiocese.
There's 3
I
different
think
ones.
so.
Because the Archdiocese holds all property for any kind of churches or schools in the Catholic faith in the Archdiocese.
I have no problem with that.
I rode out there last week. It needs.
Motion by Bernard to approve it,
I'll second it.
seconded by Keith. All in favor of spending the money to approve the Coon Hollow Road curb out relocation, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved.
That's half, right?
Half.
There on several occasions, just getting rock off the road.
Yes.
It's just a reoccurring problem. I don't know if it's youngsters out there spinning around in the parking lot, but I mean, it's bad sometimes.
I see Keith out there with a shovel.
I find that hard to believe.
Thank you.
I like that.
All right.
Gravel and road.
Landfill solid waste report, John, please.
Just to go over a holiday schedule, basically snow change for garbage pickup, working Monday to Friday, just regular days. The only difference is we'll be off Christmas Eve. We'll be shut down for landfill Christmas Eve.
Any questions for John? Joe and Eva are gone, so I get to give his report. He handed it to you all. He told me what to summarize. We had 746 monthly calls. Of these, 163 were non-transport. We had 25 lift assists, and year-to-date, we've had 3,372 calls. We did receive a grant of $5,408, which is an 80 to our 20 grant, to purchase binder lift devices. These will help prevent back injuries to our staff. We have received the second of 4 weather sirens. This is for the New Haven area. It is currently at the road department if you'd like to view it. And then with the forecast calling for colder weather, we do plan on having the Civic Center open from Friday morning through the weekend for a short-term warming center if anyone needs to use it. I mean, we're hoping all we have is cold weather. As I said last time, this judge doesn't want to have roads covered with ice and power lines covered with ice either. I'm hoping it's just cold and we get through it and stuff like that. But that is Joey's report. If you got any questions, give him a call. He'll be back. Recreation report.
I have no.
Okay. Other county elected officials, the jailer.
As of this morning, we have 112 inmates, 38 are state, 74 are county, 57 are waiting for circuit court cases, 17 waiting for district court cases, 91 are males, 21 are females.
Anybody got any questions for Mr. Snellen at his last fiscal court meeting? Thank you, Buck. I sent you an email yesterday. We have 2 bonds for the sheriff's department that had to be renewed. And speaking with Judge Watts yesterday, and we didn't get these in the mail till yesterday, he said that fiscal court has to approve the amounts and then we place them as a matter of record. So I'm asking the court to approve $3 million amount in the county revenue bond for the sheriff's office and $600,000 on the repayment of advance bond for the sheriff's office. Basically, we're not approving the bonds, we're approving the amounts, and then it becomes part of the record, so everything else gets done. If he has to collect money, sometimes, he gets so much tax money in, he's way over the $250,000 that Keith keeps in his account and stuff like that, so we got to move it back and forth. So it's just, he's got to be insured and stuff like that, and it's basically, well, you can imagine how much tax money comes in, especially for the school district, when he gets it and stuff like that. It's a large amount of money and he has to be covered. So
I'll make that motion.
thank you, Eric makes the motion.
Second.
Keith seconds it. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all. Ms. Clerk, you got anything?
I just wanted to thank the court for allowing Harp to come up and do their presentation. And I've talked to the new judge-elect, and we're gonna, in the near future, we're gonna bring it back to court so the new court may be able to ask questions or something for our new voting machines.
When do you
Thank you.
put that out for bid?
Well, it'll be up to you guys, but we're hoping to get on the agenda first of January. And you guys will be, approve the bids or whatever. I'll have some paperwork for you to look at.
Mr. Hutchins in his new court is going to have a very the third. It may be, luckily, the second meeting would be the 17th. You're going to have, a lot, but I'm sure and stuff like that. But the guy did a very good job.
He did.
Me and Keith don't sit still very good, and we stay still pretty good and listen to the presentation. So I thought he did a good job.
Thank you.
Matthew, you have anything else?
Just one quick thing. You all may have gotten a report from the auditor's office on my office. Historically, county attorney's offices were not audited for reasons I can't explain. There were some bad guys that did things wrong, and so the County Attorneys Association and the auditor got together and said, hey, here's a list of the way the office should be run. They were in my office in October of this year to look at it, and the report here you have is the results of that, and everything was fine. Everything was squeaky clean, so it should give Mr. McKay a good springboard as he's going forward with just a clean bill of health going forward. This is my last meeting, along with Jailer Snellen. Just want to tip my hat to each one of you. It's been a pleasure and honor working with every one of you, and those who came before you as well, Judge Watts over there. And I think as citizens, we should all be aware of the many employees that we have that a lot of times don't get the credit they do, and they're the ones that really keep things working during the day. My office included. They're the reasons everything works so smoothly. And we've got John and Brad and Rhonda and Jan and all the people who make things happen. So my hat's off to all of them. Appreciate it very much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Leading into that, at this time, I would like to truly recognize and thank the current fiscal court members, other elected officials, and all their staff for your support of me in my short time. I'd also like to recognize the work of Judge Watts, Magistrates Coulter, Magistrate Ice, Magistrate Shelburne, County Attorney Height, and the other outgoing elected officials for their dedication to the people of Nelson County. It has truly been an honor and privilege for me to serve as Nelson County Judge Executive. I sincerely wish good luck and much success to Judge-elect Hutchins and the new Nelson County Fiscal Court as they begin their journey. With that being said, I entertain a motion. Yes, sir.
I have something.
Yes, sir.
Being this is my last meeting, I'd like to also thank Judge Watts and Judge Rapier for making the transition really smooth when Judge Watts retired. Thank Matthew Hyde for all the knowledge that keeps us out of jail each meeting. I appreciate that. Special thanks to County Engineer Brad Spalding. He's really worked hard and given me the knowledge of how the county rules and regulations work within the last 4 years. I want to thank my fellow magistrates. We sometimes didn't agree on issues, but we always worked through them. We never did get our tempers raised or anything. We worked through them. I want to thank the voters in District 2 for allowing me to serve for 4 years. And I wish the next court good luck, and God bless you all, and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I just want to tell the outgoing magistrates, it's been an honor working with you guys. Enjoyed working with you, and most importantly, enjoyed your friendship, and I wish you the best in the future. Judge, thank you very much for
Thank
the
you for
service
being
you give.
patient with me.
Yeah.
For the county, it's a tough spot. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
I told
He
you.
left me in pretty good shape. I have to give him credit for
I
that.
think I told you when you came in, just drive the boat, don't hit nothing,
That's
right?
I didn't reverse,
Good
just
job.
kept moving forward.
Appreciate it. And to the new fiscal court, I look forward to working with every one of you. Outgoing other elected officials, good luck in the future.
Thank you, man.
Amen.
Anything else?
I would like to say the same thing. It's been such a pleasure to sit in this seat and to work with people that I didn't really know. And Judge Watts has tremendously taught me patience. I didn't have a whole lot of patience when I first got elected. I thought I could come in and change the world, and I just couldn't do it. I tried. I did what I could. And thanks to Judge for that. And Buck Snellen, it's been a pleasure working with him. And Nicky, when it was handed over to you. I knew the county was in great shape, and you've done an excellent job.
Thank you.
Coulter here, number 2, he's been by my side for the last 4 years. I greatly appreciate
Thank you.
everything we did. Eric, it was a pleasure knowing you, and Bernard, the whole 12 years. You taught me a lot too. Bernard told me one time, second or third meeting, he said, now look, don't be getting mad every meeting and doing this and that. He said, you've got to let that stay right here on this table. When we go out that door, he said, we're still friends. Always, always remember that. And that really stuck with me. And I want to welcome the new court. We had the honor, Jeff and I did last week at a convention down Louisville to kind of get to know you. I hope we showed you some ropes down there to people you need to see, and when you get in a bind, question them. And most of all, Matthew White. I've called him many a time. Matthew, did I overspeak? Should I have not said this? Tell me what I did. Oh, you need to go back there tomorrow and patch that up best you can. You know? And he's really helped me a lot, and it's been such an honor to be around you guys and to learn what I've learned. You can't learn it in any school or any book or any piece of paper. You almost have to be here to learn it. And it's been such an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Anybody have anything else?
I'll just, since everybody said what they said, I guess I got to say something. It's been a real blessing to be a servant of the 5th District and of Nelson County as a whole. I truly believe, I've been all over the world, and there's no place like Nelson County, Kentucky. It's always been home to me. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to sit here in this seat and try to do what's best for our district and for Nelson County. I just want to thank everyone that's here. Developed quite a friendship and relationship with each and every one of you. I appreciate you, Nicky, for stepping up to the plate at a difficult time. I'm so thankful for Judge Watts and all his wisdom and his friendship and the things that he's taught me about public service. It's been a real blessing. And, I know there's going to be some significant challenges for the next fiscal court. My heart is really hoping and willing the best. I know we've got some really good folks that are coming in here, some folks that are very service oriented, and I pray the best for you. I hope that it all goes well, and we'll see what happens in 4 years.
One more thing. Everybody rise. Bernard Ice.
Mr. Ice. Bernard, thank you for your many years of service.
It's been a pleasure.
You've done a great job for the county, and I think I speak for everyone. We sincerely appreciate all you've done.
Thanks, sir.
And I truly don't think it'll ever happen again in Nelson County.
All right. Could we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Bernard makes a motion to adjourn his last meeting.
I'll second.
Gary gets to second that. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank y'all for coming.
Good job.